Hey everyone, Bindu here for Crafty Meraki. I'm excited to be back with an amazing release, hopping along on YouTube with some of my crafty friends. Make sure to check the description box below for all of the information to enter the giveaway, and I hope you find loads of inspiration along the way. I'm excited to be back today with a gorgeous, stunning tutorial for these two cards. It's a 2-for-1 project today, and I am using the gorgeous Lenten Rose background dies that are just released as part of the Meraki Melody release this month. So this design has been available in the mini slimline size, but I'm excited that now we have it also in the A2 size. This has been one of our very popular dies, always sold out every time I restocked it. So I'm excited to be able to offer this in an A2 size now. So for today's project, like I said, we're going to make a 2-for-1. One is this card, which is a stunning stained glass window style shaker card, double bonus, double whammy. So this is a shaker card and a stained glass style window card. This is what we're going to make with the die cut pieces that are the negative or the remaining pieces after we cut and use this frame. So this frame cuts, or this die actually cuts out the frame, that is the positive. And we're actually here also using the negative because it is just so pretty, too pretty to waste. And we're scrappers, we don't waste anything. So I'm gonna use the positive and the negative to make two cards. And like I said, this is a 2-for-1 project for today. So let's get started. First, I have a black piece of cardstock that I am using with the All-to-New double-sided sticky adhesive sheet. And I've already adhered, oops, not on this one. I've already adhered my sticky sheet to the black cardstock. All I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna use my die, the Lenten Rose die, and I'm gonna die cut the background from this black cardstock. So I'm gonna flip it over and die cut it this way. So I will hopefully be able to get two cuts out of this one piece of cardstock. So once I'm done die cutting, I'm actually going to flip it over and add a piece of press and seal to the back so everything can stay in place. I'm going to add press and seal on the back side where this release paper is. And on this side, I'm actually going to start weeding these die cut pieces with the help of my pokey tool. And I'm using the Crafty Meraki Bling Buddy. If you're not familiar with this tool, the one end of this tip of this tool is a sticky tip, which you're going to see me use later. It's used to pick up gems, just a slight tap, and you can pick up gems and then you can add them to your card front. So that's the sticky tip. And on the other end is our pokey tool, which I'm now going to use to poke out the die cuts and make sure everything kind of stays in place with the sticky back still in place, so that I can easily use it for both. I'm going to use, as I mentioned, I'm going to use the card front. I'm going to use the positive as well as the negative pieces from this die cut. And this way I don't have to mess with adding any glue, and everything's already glued in place for me. So you can see here I have weeded out most of the die cut pieces. This is the negative, so-called negative. In this case, it's the negative, and we're going to use this for our second card. But this part here that actually just came off is the positive portion that we're going to use for the shaker card. Oops, I got a piece of tape. This is the part that we're going to use the positive. I am not too worried about these tiny little pieces that are the centers of these anemone flowers. I'm actually more worried about the actual frame in this case. And as you can see here in just a second, we're going to cover up the centers with beautiful, gorgeous gems anyway. So I'm not too worried about the centers, and I think it looks prettier with the gems anyway. So I'm not too worried, and they're also too tiny, too little to be kept in place. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm simply going to worry about this one, that I'm gonna now mount onto a shaker front, which I am using the Crafty Meraki shaker pockets, the A2 size shaker pockets, which are perfectly cut to your A2 size cards. And all I'm gonna do is just simply adhere this piece, the positive, to one of the shaker fronts. But before we can adhere it to the shaker front, we need to make sure the protective film is removed, like that. And once this is removed, we can simply flip this over and attach it in place. And then we're gonna move on to our stained glass window effect. So I have my shaker card front, or the shaker pocket, ready. I have peeled off the film, but now we're gonna move on to gluing on the positive piece of the frame. We do wanna make sure that the shaker pocket is facing, the glue tape is on the inside. We wanna glue the frame on the outside. So this is the tape side that can be peeled off, and this is the front side that I'm gonna use. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put it in place to cover the front. This is an A2 shaker pocket, so they both should match perfectly. And there we go. Since we already have the glue or the adhesive in place, we don't have to mess with adding any glue. And so there we have it. So our shaker pocket front is ready. And now we're gonna flip this over and color it with alcohol markers. I am going to use the rainbow colors, and I'll pick out those colors and I'll be right back. So I'm picking out some of the rainbow colors. Like I said, here's my assortment. I am only picking one pink, one orange, a blue, a green, and I'll just be coloring. We're not doing any shading. We're simply going to flick color like you see me doing here. And I have sped this up quite a bit because there's no technique here. We're just adding some color to the back of the shaker pocket. I'm going to continue adding, as I said, pink, yellow, orange, blue, purple, green, and I'm just going to complete my rainbow going down the same path. I'm not using any technique, just simply flicking, adding color. And I'm adding color on the back side so that we don't touch it on the front and it doesn't get accidentally smudged. So I'm just going to add color on the back. I'm going to leave it there to dry while we move on to the second card, which is going to be made with the leftover pieces from this die cut. Okay, so I have a piece of cardstock that is slightly bigger than the 4 1/4 that slightly wider than the 4 1/4 I'm going to need. I took about a 1/2 inch extra because this way we won't need it and we can always cut off the pieces that we don't need. So I am choosing some of my favorite Pink Fresh Studio dye inks here. I am going to do a rainbow ink blend. I have my usual yellow, pink, green, orange, and some other colors that I'm going to add on. But this is just plain ink blending. Feel free to choose whatever colors you like, whatever colors are appealing to you. The idea is to just have a background that is covered with ink blending. And then we're going to adhere our negative pieces right on top of this ink blending. So the background looks very pretty, and then there's a stark contrast with the black die cut pieces that we're going to put on top. Okay, so here's my ink blended panel. And now we are going to work with our leftover pieces. First, I am going to get some more press and seal, and I'm going to put it right on top, but now I'm going to cut off the excess. So cut off over here, and then cut this portion off. Okay. Put this away for another day. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it same exact technique that we used the last time. I'm gonna give it a good burnish. With my scratch paper, and I'm going to peel off the press and seal on the back side. And hopefully this will work like I intended it to. So far, so good. All right, so I'm going to be very careful. Hopefully you can see that. And I will peel off the release paper very carefully, or the press and seal. Okay, so that is done, and now I am going to take the release paper off. I want to peel it off of everything. Back to my pokey tool again. I'm going to try to peel it off of everything. Hopefully you can still see it. I can see better too. Ha! Should have done that. Okay, so let's peel off up to that. And there we go. Almost done. But I'm going to peel off these dabs of Barely Arts glue. Just to be extra sure. So we are making a 2 for today, which both are rainbows, and who doesn't love rainbows? Come on. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna worry about that in a second. But first, time for some magic. This is like the instant gratification about to happen over here. Okay, so I am going to flip this over and check my placement. Like I said, I used a little bit extra on the sides. I cut off more than I needed, but I am going to go and make sure that I put these kind of like that. Oof, look at that already. Look at that already. Oh, goodness. I'm going to do one more time. I'm going to take my blank sheet of paper. I'm going to try to give it a good burnish so this can stay in place. And this piece wants to come off, so I'm going to have my glue handy and I will try to get it back in place. And let's see. what we've got here. This is why we have press and seal. There we go. That looks good so far. I'm gonna get these ones to stay because I do want those to stay. Okay, so I kind of deliberately left off the centers of these flowers. So I'm going to remove this as well just to keep everything the same. And got an extra piece here. Right, I don't want to rip it off, so I'm just going to glue it back in place. No one's going to know the difference. So I have, I think, all right, so I'm just checking to make sure I've got everything in place. Next, I am going to kind of take some I'm going to take my trusty Okay, now it's time to put all of the pieces together. We're trying to finish our card. So this is the first one that I made with the shaker pocket. Sorry, let's take a look. Look at that. Oh my God, so beautiful. I think the camera is not really doing justice to my stained glass panel here, but I'm gonna actually take a card panel that is slightly less than the A2 because I want to avoid the buckling. Okay, this looks like it is 4 1/4. I'm going to quickly give it a measure. Yes, this is 4 1/4, so I don't want to use that. I cut one panel slightly shorter, so this is the one, this is the correct one that I need to use. So I basically trimmed off like about 1/8 of an inch on both sides. I'm sorry, 1/8 of an inch on the long side and 1/8 of an inch on the short side so that I can get it to line up perfectly. I'm going to move that one to the side for a second. And now this Copic coloring has had a chance to dry a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish it. I need my bone folder really quick. I'm going to use the pokey tool again, get this off. Get the 4 strips peeled off. I'm gonna fold it, and I'm gonna just use my bone folder to apply the pressure. So since it's already got the glue, I don't need to worry about the glue part. I just have to peel off. I'm gonna peel off the first 3 sides. I'm gonna leave either I don't know which side I'm using yet. This is either the top. This is gonna be either the top or the bottom because I have it flip side. I can't see it. But for now, I'm gonna leave that one open. So that's where the sequins are gonna go in. And I'm gonna use my picky pokey tool again. And then this is the last side. Just gonna fold it and use my bone folder again. Burnish it really well. And there we go. Oh my God, that is just stunning, stunning, stunning. I am gonna use Twinkle Treats. This is the white iridescent sequins that we have. If I can get it open, there we go. And I'm gonna use my twinkle tray. Everything's twinkle, everything's, you know, sparkly, glittery. So I'm gonna keep it to white so that the focus isn't taken away from the shaker bits. And this, and you can actually, I don't know if you can see, but oh my God, look at that literal stained glass effect. I can see the pink here, I can see the green here from the light. But I am just impressed with myself, tooting my own horn. But here I want to show you a really quick trick. I'm using the twinkle tray. I took my sequins in here and watch how easy it is to dump all the sequins in there. Look, watch. Oh my God, that is just, I'm shameless plug, but that's okay. If it makes your life easy, take it. If you hate it, you can always choose to ignore, right? We don't have to take everything that we see. But I'm using the pokey tool now. I can close off the last side, and I'm going to use my bone folder again to burnish it really well. And now we have everything secured in place. Okay, there we go. There's our shaker. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. I'm keeping everything else simple because this stained glass effect is going to be the highlight, the star of the show. So I'm going to keep it that way. And I am going to adhere this to a card front. And I have 2 card panels, card bases ready here. One's a side fold, one's a top fold. I am actually thinking I'm going to use this on the top fold right there. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Okay, so let me get my glue going, my Barely Art, and I'm gonna give it like a good coating of glue. And then I'll just put it back in place. Glue it to the card base. You could also use tape, but I've got my glue going, so I'm just gonna use that. And I think I'm going to keep the pink at the top. So I'm going to keep this, kind of line everything up, and I will press it in place. And hopefully so we'll keep that, give it a good pressure. And there we go. Look at that. So pretty. So pretty. And the sequins even change color because we chose white. They look orange here, they look pink here, and they look purple. Oh, just beautiful. And the blue. So we're going to keep that one as our first card. And the second one, we're going to finish off as well. Here is the second panel we made. Once again, I'm going to take my glue, and this time I'm actually going to put the glue on the card base. You think that's enough glue? I think so. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of put it to kind of in the middle so I can trim off the excess on both sides. I'm actually lining up based on what I see at the top right there. So I'm gonna move it a little bit over to the right side, bring it down a little bit. I'm gonna give it a good press. So when I turn it over, now I can see the excess and I can just trim that off. I'm going to use a trimmer here. And I'm going to trim that off as carefully as I can. Okay. Trimmed off on that side. And on this side, we're going to trim it off as well. There we go. And there we have our second panel. And it's pretty well glued. So, next I'm going to take something new that I have not yet tried. I just got my panel or the Milky Way gel pens from Corinne. I've been such a huge fan of the Corinne markers that I saw this and I decided to try. They're fairly new. They're not brand new, but they're fairly new. And like I said, I have had them, and between the travels, etc., I haven't had a chance to use it. But this is the first time, like I said, I'm opening it up. This set is called the Milky Way set of 10 gel pens. These are sort of like the bright pastels. You can see they almost match the colors on my card front here. So this is the Milky Way set, and the reason I'm pulling this out is because I want to use my white gel pen to add a little bit of detail on the panel that we made here. So I got my white gel pen out. I'm gonna first start it here off to the side. Oh my God, I didn't even have to start it. So you're getting basically, this is the first look, and I am showing you, or I'm using basically my first impression. What you see is what you get. So this is the first impression, first time using these gel pens, but I'm gonna try to give it sort of some, oh my God. That is so awesome. Those lines are just, I'm being a little bit careful here, and I'm being very like nervous, but I love these. I love how beautiful they mark. I'm actually going to go over because now I'm getting a little bit more confident after I used them a little bit. So I'm going to add some white gel pen details on all of these petals. Oh, wow. These are just stunning. Stunning. And I think even if it breaks up a little bit like that, it looks great. So I'm just going to leave that and maybe keep going here. Beautiful. Love the details. So I'm going to finish off this whole entire panel with the white gel pen here. I actually will do a comparison. I'll try to figure out how they compare to the Jelly Roll, the Sakura Jelly Roll pens. I have not used a jelly or a white jelly pen, gel roll pen in a very long time, in a very, very long time. But I might actually have to go back and bring it out a little bit. So let's see what they, if any of you knows, let me know. If you've used both and you like one or the other, let me know. So I'm gonna just finish off here. And I'm being random here, no rhyme or reason. I didn't pick anything, I didn't plan anything, just randomly going around and coloring the petals, the flower petals that I can see. And let's do this one. I think that's it. I think I covered all of the petals. Now there's one last thing left to do on this card, and then we can call it a day. The most important thing of all, I need to give it some bling. Not just any kind of bling, but I need to use some of our bling. Okay, so I've got some of my bling. I've got Sunny Sparkle Illusion and I've got Magic Crystal. I cannot decide which one I should use. So let me try. That's the good thing, right? I can try it out. I'm gonna try what that looks like. Okay, that might be my favorite. Let me see what this looks like. I think it has to be Sunny Sparkle. This one is Magic Crystal, which is like a white. I don't know if you can see, but this is like a white with the, kind of the Aurora Borealis coating. You can see the light reflects differently. Duh, I should show you like that. Here, I can even show you. So that's Magic Crystal. I thought the white might be better since it's white, but I think I was pleasantly surprised by the Sunny Sparkle that I'm gonna go with that. So this is a yellow Sunny Sparkle Illusion Gems, and I am gonna finish up this card with some gems in the center, and we will wrap this up. I was almost done with my card, but I want to show you quickly how easy it is to do the embellishments with the, I'm going to bring it in a little bit, but I want to show you how easy it is to use the Bling Buddy. And I still have, I've got these 3 flowers done, the centers, and now I'm going to do this one, but I've got my Barely Arts glue, and I'm going to just put a little dot wherever I want my gem to go. Then I'm going to pick up just a light tab, and you can see that it's already attached to my Bling Buddy. And then I'm going to drop it right there. I'm going to give it a little bit of a press, and that's it. Literally just a little tiny bit of glue, and tap, pick up, and drop. It's not even just for the embellishments, the jewels, but you can also use paper. You can also use this to pick up paper. And watch, if I need to move this, we already saw the pokey tool in action, but if I want to move it, I can still use the pokey tip to move it into place wherever I want it to be. So I'm going to finish up with just last 2. So here is the first card with the gel pen details, and here's, actually this is the second one, and here's the first one with the alcohol marker coloring stained glass effect shaker card. I haven't added sentiments to these yet. I'm actually going to make these into birthday cards. My younger one just had a birthday. My older one, her birthday is coming up in 2 weeks. So I'm going to turn these into birthday cards for them. And I don't want to do one at a time, so that's why I'm doing both. And this is a perfect excuse for a 2-for-1 technique. I need 2 cards, and so now I've got 2 cards, right? So I hope you enjoyed my cards today. I hope you like the new 2-for-1 technique. I hope you like the new release. Leave me a comment below to let me know what you think of the release, what you are liking so far, and what you would like to see in the future. So I might actually go back and finish these with some jewels as well, because you can never have enough bling, right? So I'm just gonna go finish these off, and I hope you're enjoying the hop. Hope you are getting tons and tons of inspiration. Don't forget to enter in the raffle copter to win our giveaway prize. Stay happy and stay crafty until the next time. Bye!